All right, what's up, Chavos and Chavets and all the loyal fam? Welcome to another episode of Chelas con Chavos on this 4th of July weekend. I'm your co-host, John, and again, I'm here with co-host Miguel. What's up, Ana?
Hey man, what's going on, dude? Happy 4th of July. I'm finally back in California after a month and a half. So I'm excited. I'm excited to go to another home game here pretty soon if I get the opportunity.
Oh, man, we'll get into that shortly, but man, the whole match against OC was fire. It was you pretty much might as well pay-per-view that because we had a UFC match, going on. We had some Royal Rumble. We had we had all kinds of stuff going on, but yeah, it was exciting. But yeah, 4th of July weekend, everybody. We got two old chavos here on Friday night talking about some soccer footy instead of out there partying and PB. So,
Yep.
nah, you know what I'm saying.
I'm gonna start my partying tomorrow. I mean, because that way I can get the Saturday and I can get Sunday and Monday to recover, and I can get back to work on Tuesday for sure.
Remember, we have a match on 4th of July. You know what? That match kind of surprised me, and I was like, wait a minute, we got a match on 4th of July. I was like, I wonder why they planned it that way. Why not like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, right? Or actually, we have a game on Wednesday,
Oh
right?
yeah, we do. Yeah, I think we do. Let me check the schedule.
Yeah,
But
we actually have a match. We have the next couple weeks is like a match every couple days.
yeah, we have Colorado Springs on the 4th. I think is that the makeup game? No, it's not. It's not the
Yeah,
makeup
it's a
game.
makeup game. Yeah, because Colorado had all those COVID.
Oh, that's right. No, but yeah, I thought the makeup game was a home game.
Oh, you know what? You're right. That's true.
Yeah, so I think that original Colorado Strikes game, that was an original schedule, and then we play LA Galaxy 2 again, and then we come here to San Diego, and the Colorado Switchbacks come out here. That's for the makeup game on July 18th. So we got July 4th, July 9th, July 18th, July 23rd, July 30th. It's like every 7 days something's happening.
Yeah, man, this is gonna be a really soccer pumped, infused summer
Yep.
with San Diego Loyal. And speaking of San Diego Loyal, with another fellow, San Diego team, the hot unis that the Padres came out with, right?
Yeah, man. Dude, honestly, I am very excited about the quality of uniforms that both our teams are putting out, and they're drawing attention nationwide, man. And I don't know if anybody else, kind of. I know there's a couple of my friends that really don't get the colors and don't get the whole of it. Um, but I honestly feel like like we're starting to see a good connection, with our neighbors to the south, Tijuana. Like a lot of us, we've been living back and forth out there. A lot of native San Diegans, and and the fact that we're coming out with all these great uniforms that really represent our cultures in San Diego it's amazing, man. It's great to see.
Yeah. Yeah. When I saw the jerseys, it kind of gave me a San Diego Loyal vibe. Like, and then
Yeah.
like how like San Diego Loyal, obviously Landon Donovan went out to give that first pitch, a couple nights ago, and and it kind of gave me a little bit of the vibe, the San Diego vibe, the bright colors, because initially, with the whole San Diego Loyal, when the launch of the whole the name and the crest and everything like that. I was a little bit like, oh, a lot of people were right. A lot of people were like, well, what's going on with this? Like, a lot of people are expecting a different name or whatever. But I think it's very fitting how it is now. Like, I think it makes sense, and I love it. Like, it grew on everybody,
Yeah.
and I think like the color scheme, right? But with San Diego, I guess one of our fellow chavos was like, everyone in South Bay saying that that the new Padres unis doesn't represent, San Diego or whatever. And it was kind of like a little bit of a funny, Adrian, put that up, right? he was putting up a little bit of a funny type of meme about it. Having Mario Lopez, AC Slater on there with his little hot pink, tank top. But my point being is that we're beach. We're
Yeah,
beach. The San Diego Loyal colors are represent our sunset. Like everyone's driving right now. Miguel, right? Everyone's driving right now to San Diego from Arizona, from Nevada, because they want to come here to San Diego for the beach. And the summer here. We had the Big Bay Boom, the biggest freaking fireworks show on the West Coast.
yeah,
So the colors, man, the colors just bring it out. The San Diego Loyal colors, the Padres jersey just bring out, has like like the Mexico type of colors, but like highlighted, right? Or like kind of beach, kind of Mexico colors.
yeah,
Obviously the connection with with the sister city Tijuana.
yeah.
But I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's gorgeous, and the way for all people that aren't really familiar with it is those are the old colors of the Mission Bay roller coaster. That's
You're
kind of what
right.
it's based off of, and then also the lettering. I mean, that's all like old school surfer, 1990s culture. Like the body
Yeah.
glove and all that stuff. That's all that kind of font, and it's amazing to finally be able to represent San Diego as not just a beach city, not just Coronado, not just Del Mar, not just La Jolla. It's the fact that these big clubs, these big teams, these major league, like national stage teams, are recognizing that we are a multinational, multicultural, multi-race city. It's amazing to me, man. And the fact that we can just come up and and create these these designs that can just not represent the people, on the beach, but also represent the people like in the inlands and the northern and the southern. It's great for
Yeah.
me. Like I totally dig it, dude. I'm gonna the second I get home, man. I'm telling you that I got 2 trips to make. I gotta make a trip to Petco to buy the jersey. I gotta make a trip to the shop to buy the new third
Yeah.
kit. And I mean that's that's $250 out of my pocket in like 10 minutes, and I'm gonna be at home.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, San Diego's making moves in a lot of ways. The Padres are doing well. Season long wise, right? They're doing really well. San Diego Loyal, they won. We'll get into the OC match shortly, but they won the OC match. The someone called it the Terror at Torero. UFC 619. UFC 619. Royal Rumble 619. Michael Buffer would have just been like great, just calling like singing the Star Spangled Banner on this one. But we'll
Yeah,
get into that. But no, there's a lot of exciting things going on in San Diego right now with the Snapdragons. We're kind of straying away here a little bit, but I think it's something important to talk about. Snapdragons getting built. SCSU potentially can get out of the football conference football, FCSU football.
yeah.
Uh,
Join the Pac-12.
UCLA, yeah, UCLA, USC is getting out, excuse me, of the Pac-12 and going to the Big Ten. And, right now they're talking about SCSU possibly going to the Pac-12 if it's still going to exist, right? We get into that all night discussion. But the big things are going on with the sport in the sports landscape in San Diego. San Diego State football, San Diego Loyal, ST Wave. A lot of Padres are doing really well. So there's a lot of exciting things going on right now. And but I mean, I just can't wait. I could be talking here all night. But I don't want to keep you up. Because we're gonna age more. Another couple of years talking about all this stuff tonight.
Oh man, we're gonna be here the day that San Diego State football bit in the national stage, right? And
Yeah, and that's what we're waiting for.
yeah, just to make a little comment on that. I mean, I love San Diego State as well. I Mountain West is never going to be one of the big power conferences. It's not going to be it. So it's a logical move for San Diego to make that move to Pac-12. It, it's a bigger conference. It can attract better talent, and they have a really good team as it is right now. And
Yeah,
brand new stadium coming up. I mean, who doesn't want to go, to San Diego State for football? It's
yeah.
but for college, for university in general. Um, it's there's a lot of big things coming from to San Diego sports, and hopefully with SD Wave, they keep going with the momentum, bring home a title for the end, for the National Women's Soccer League, and uh, and to think we're doing all this without the NFL, yeah, yeah, fuck the Chargers, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of We'll get into that a little bit after we get into the OC match.
Yep,
But impressive home victories the past two games.
yeah,
Um, Comments to talk about our OC matchups. So let's talk about that. Um, it was just a great match. I don't know what you want to chime in about the other previous game, um, but what did you think initially? Because I have a lot of because I was there, I was at the match, so I want to see what if you're. I'm not sure if you watched the game or not, but I want to see what your thoughts were on the OC match and like pretty much the past two matches at home. They had to win. They did it. We're on.
yeah, and they did it. They did it with fire, man. They did it very convincingly. Um, that 5-0 win against Indianapolis, man. That was we all know they could do it, and I didn't. I still thought they're going to win 2-1. I didn't think they were.
Yeah.
They shut me up, right? Um,
Well, I called it a
and the
draw. I called it a draw. Remember, I was like, I didn't see nothing from the previous games that they were going to win 5-0 on this one.
no, you know what? And the defense really stepped up, and I don't know what happened overnight, but the fight was there, and the clearances were there, and even like for the OC match too. Remember, I talked about it before. Like the teams that get the most goals are the teams that are going to win, and San Diego got successfully more shots on goal in the OC game than OC did, and they ended up winning them. They won the match, and they won it with fire. Um, I'm okay with red cards if they're not stupid fouls. If people
Yeah.
are passionate about the game, totally fine with it. If it's just like, oh man, like you fucked up and you slid on the last guy in the field, like yeah, okay, whatever. But as long as people are like, actually really going for it, I'm good with it.
Yeah. Well, I think they played better because they heard our podcast. They heard how much heat we were giving the center backs.
I
So
know, man.
but man, that was an impressive match. 5-0. That's probably that I believe that's the best score line that the San Diego Loyal has done at Torero, correct?
Yeah, no, that's the best score line. I mean, like hands down, man. And you know, Vassell he's quickly earning his place in like the San Diego Loyal history books. I mean, in our short history that we have, I mean that guy's gonna if we ever do get an MLS stadium at some point, he's probably gonna be one choose and retired. It's like,
Yeah.
and then Guido is like Guido is controlling the game. He's controlling the match. He's controlling. He's 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 being that 10 that we needed for so long, and
Yeah.
I can't even. Yeah, the way they're playing right now, it's man, and I kind of wish they keep it going. It's Vassell not being the next game against Colorado is going to hurt us a little bit, but you know what? We got him on. We're good, man. I honestly feel like
Yeah.
Thomas is really he's good enough to just earn his
Hmm.
own right, in his own right to hold that front line up front.
Yeah. And Guido has been playing so great right now. Like he to me, he's healthy. He's
Hmm.
healthy this season. Kyle Vassell, he's a freaking Terminator, and
Yeah,
we'll get into that. We'll get into the OC match shortly. But you know, his physicality is somebody that we need up front. I still think that we need some more center backs in our team. I think that's our weakness. But I mean, when you have Thomas Amang, when you have Kyle Vassell up front, you have our offensive players, like Elijah Martin and Colin
mhm,
Martin, things like that. Blake's getting, starting to pick up a little bit more, more game time and getting in stuff like that. But things are looking up right now. And then the 5-0, and then when the beginning of the game, when they were calling the lineups, and I saw that what's his name, Asante, Asante that used to play for Phoenix,
yep,
that plays for Indy 11 now. And I
Mhm.
was just like, oh, great. Like, I wonder if he was going to be like a little bit of a kryptonite right there. Like, oh, man, this damn, blank, 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 blank,
Oh, man, he
this,
ended up with a yellow card. He was frustrated, man.
yeah, like I was like, man, this guy's going to score on us, man. I was like, man, this dude's like, I was thinking that at the beginning, but after a while, I was just like, oh man, we got it, man. The Estilo came out with physicality, with intention, with charisma. They came out with purpose. They're
Yeah.
battling, and I was like, hell yeah! And then 5-0, and then CJ Foudry played as well, which I've been calling for him to play. We need some young legs up front, to kind of tire the defense, and it was great.
Yeah, no, and, it's a great point that you're talking about, talking about his, I mean, he came off an injury, started coming off, he started the season a little slow, and, the fact that he was able to, he's been very productive the last 3 or 4 games, man. He's been very key, very instrumental. Um, and I just do the Toomey's goal, man. That was just that was a thing of be just coming across, from the right or from the left side, going across. Oh man, the way he curled it into the bottom corner, I
Yeah,
it was we're we're scoring quality goals,
yeah,
and we're scoring them when they count, and we're gonna I mean, yeah, we're gonna be a little bit and I catch up with with Colorado and I think San Antonio's on top, right?
yeah.
Yeah, San Antonio's on top. I mean, we may be a little bit behind them, but I really honestly feel like this year we might actually be a threat in the playoffs. I mean, the defense still needs a little work, but I think our offensive power will be able to get us through, the next few rounds.
Yeah, if we play the way we're playing right now, we will be one of the top four, teams, and hopefully getting a playoff game at home. And I want to discuss something about that. Well, I just bring it up now. If Because we have at Torero the current schedule right now. We have the season schedule right now. We know what games, what dates that Estilo is playing the current season matches, right?
Yeah,
But nothing's known on what's going to happen if we have a home playoff match. The reason I bring that up is because ST Wave is going to be playing at Snapdragon. The first match is on September 17th against Angel City. That same day, uh, Senegal Phoenix Rising at Torero. What I'm trying to say here is that if we do end up getting a home playoff match, I am predicting. You're gonna hear here first. I'm predicting that SD Loyal is gonna call that game to be moved to Snapdragon because I think that Torero, they, who know the current season, the football team's gonna be there. They don't even know if they could even accommodate that. There's gonna be pretty much USLs. I'm assuming USL scheduling. If it does not fit with Torero's or the schools, just pretty much the whole schedule.
yeah.
Where are they gonna play? So I'm thinking like they're gonna probably be playing that Snapdragon.
Um, yeah, you know what? It could be, man. I don't know how I would feel. I'm trying to think of it from a fan, like a fan, like a state, like going somewhere completely new that I have no idea, how to maneuver my way around the stadium, how to party, how to get ready for a really big game against, like for a big, really big playoff game, right? Like I don't know if that would be a very hard game for me because it's
Yeah.
you kind of want to make sure that you keep that home field advantage, right? Like I mean, what if the
Yep.
pitch is super soft? What if like
It's gonna
God,
be a new pitch, though. It's gonna be a new pitch.
it will be a new pitch, but I mean, like I mean, as well as I do, man. Like new turf tends to not settle, as
Yeah,
it's not as settled as turf that's been established over a few years,
yeah,
right? Um, it could be a little softer. It could be a little more different. The locker rooms, even like it might not feel like home. It might just feel like a
yeah.
brand new setting. And I don't know if pro teams want to be able to take that opportunity or take that chance to take players out of their their comfort zone. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Um,
Well, they're
but
doing it. They're doing it with SD Wave in Angel City because that's going to pretty much be like the end of the season,
yeah, no,
playoff
that
contentions.
will that will be towards the end of, and I think that's one of those games of opportunity, right? For SD Wave, they had it from the beginning. You know, they were going to be the first home game, the first soccer game in the new Snapdragon Stadium. Um, but I think maybe I don't know, man. I want to say Landon will probably want to maintain the same momentum and the same feel, so he might want to stay at Torero Stadium, dude. But that's just my opinion. I don't know.
I think he would want to, but I think my only my mentality is just that who knows what Torero is going to be. USL schedule is going to be different. You know, they're going to be like, hey, we this game needs to be played on this date. And
Yeah,
remember, we don't own Torero, and the school can be like, hey, we can't accommodate that date that you guys want to play on.
yeah.
Something else is going on. So who knows? But the closer we get, we'll get into that. But that's just my call, and like we'll put money on it when it gets close.
I know, right? Yeah, we'll definitely get into
But this OC match, man, let's get into like UFC 619 at Torero. Um, I was there. I went to the match. Well, speaking of that, speaking of indie, the parking lot. Before we continue on,
it. Yeah,
let me step back for one quick minute. Uh, but the parking lot was back against Indy 11. I was not able to assist, but what I did want to comment on about Snapdragon again, because we've been talking about it for the past couple weeks now a lot, is just that there is going to be, and we'll get into it more a little bit later, but there is going to be tailgating available, and the parking lot, I think, has a strong ability to grow being played at Snapdragon. But it was back. A lot of people were enthused about it being back. I heard good things about it, but there's probably going to be another few parking lots during the season, and I'm looking forward to that. But just want to comment on that the parking lot was back for one match at least, but there's
yeah,
other plans of it coming back for the future. And yeah, so what do you think?
yeah. No, it's the parking lot was the parking lot of now there. Pretty much everything was that was a really good that was a really good start, to what we wanted to do. And unfortunately, um, University of San Diego minimum when we kind of open up those events like that, right? We need people need to be able to buy beer. They need to be able to to get food, and yeah, it's a little hard, especially like pregame, like when you're kind of limited to having 2 or 3 beers at a time. To be able to be, I want to be a little more conservative, just have one beer at a time, so that kind of drink brings down the value of having all those people working at the parking lot before pregame. Um, I mean, it's a school policy thing, and but it was nice to have it, like that, that once in a while. Obviously, it was a big game, for the it was a very big game, with Indy 11, and I definitely feel like it's something we could definitely bring back in the future, but it would have to be on a big game basis, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so great things coming with the parking lot. I was happy it came back. I'm very motivated for more to come in the future to assist those. But yeah, so more to come with that. So getting into UFC 619 and at the Terror at Torero. So San Diego Loyal hosted Orange County Soccer Club, our rival to the north.
Which I
um,
didn't think it was going to be a rivalry, but I guess it is now.
I was thinking, a lot of people were saying about the whole Phoenix thing, the rivalry with Phoenix, but I was kind of sensing that I started seeing it more with Orange County last season, and then this pretty much this match against Orange kind of solidified that it's a freaking rivalry because there were some bows being thrown, right? So SC Loyal won 2-1. I was at the match. Great atmosphere. I'll expand on that more, but I want to get with the match first. but great atmosphere. It was a packed house. I don't think it was sold out per se, but it was, if not near sold out, almost close. It was over 5K people on during the week on a Wednesday. Um,
Yeah.
Section 109 was bumping hardcore. The Chavos, locals, Rainbow Loyals, everyone in between, all the sections were just really infused. Were just really into the match. It had a playoff atmosphere. It really did. There's Orange County fans, about 7 of them. No, there was more than that. There was probably like 20 or 30 or so. But it was good. I like seeing opposing fans coming to Torero because it kind of gives you more. Maybe that's what it was really. Like
Yeah.
let's think about it that way. Maybe that's what it was. That having opposing fans there just gave 109 just more of a like a oomph, to just show more of what we got.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, yeah, no, I mean, I don't really feel like OC is one of those clubs that we kinda have to impress. I mean, they I still think they earned their championship last year, but I think they were one of the lucky clubs to be able to, they earned their championship. Yes, I'm gonna give the credit, where the credit's due, but I do not think they're one of the league clubs in the USL, so I don't feel like the need that we need to impress them. I don't know, what do you think?
No, no, I definitely don't. I definitely don't think we need to impress them, but I think like just having the opposing fans there just kind of gave 109 and just kind of a little bit more like a kick in the butt and be like we're bigger than OC. We're
Yeah,
San Diego. We're San Diego freaking loyal. We're bigger than that. They're the champions. It should have been us. I really honestly think it should have been us. If we didn't lose ground last season on the positioning, we would have went the same route that OC did and probably could have came on top. It didn't happen, but I definitely think that could have been us.
yeah,
But during this match, it was high. It was high energy. OC was playing really, really physical. And I can tell you right now, I was at the match. San Diego Loyal was not really playing that well in the beginning. Uh, if you really pay note, to the game, we had, I want to count like the first half, about eight just mess, just you know passes that were not going our way.
yeah,
They were either kicked too hard, wrong, bad touch. They were going out of bounds. OC was actually playing on point. They were playing with high energy, and we really got lucky in really like the first like 20 minutes or 15 minutes or so that they didn't really take advantage of some of the errors that we were making. But we hung in there and ended up scoring a goal.
yeah,
With a great play by Toomey, just hitting the high burners and then just going into the box and then hitting taking a shot towards the keeper and then Guido being in there ended up tapping it. I think that was going to get a call back. That the goalkeeper was kind of thinking like he got hurt or hit somehow. But we ended up getting awarded the goal. Um, look, good thing that we got it, obviously, because I wasn't sure we were gonna get it or not. But not even 2 minutes later, Orange County ends up, going back, the opposite direction and scoring on us. And why? It was because our center back, lost the man, and there was a Orange County player right in the middle of the box and ends up freaking scoring.
yeah,
So they ended up scoring really short after. At the end of the match, or not in the match, but later on in the game, we ended up getting a pretty good call on the penalty, which was pretty obvious to me by Nick Moon, and then Guido hits it in. But the whole match was high energy. But what did you think about the goals and the gameplay?
hmm. I thought I think like I mentioned earlier, it's like, the one stat that stands out to me that's always gonna be, um, it's the shots on goal. The shots, it kinda shows that you're creating opportunity. It shows that you're actually trying to, like, make a play towards goal. And, for the longest time, when the Loyal are just playing these they've been losing these easy games, the one stat that always stood out for me was on goal. was the fact that other teams have more opportunities to be able to shoot the ball, and eventually one of those is going to go in. And I think at that point, I see what you were saying that that OC was playing better than us, but we were creating those opportunities up front to be able to give ourselves a chance. Um, yeah, things weren't going our way. Might have been a little different. Maybe we were caught a little off guard. It was a fast week. I mean, we were playing what we played Sunday, then played Wednesday right away. So
Yeah,
I think it was I think the gameplay was was justifiable for the quick turnaround week that they had, and I'm glad they were just able to just pressure and pressure and pressure up in the top. I mean, even though they probably both have the same amount of possession that I could see. And you said OC started off hot, but I think the Loyal were actually able to kind of like regroup themselves and
yep,
just create those opportunities. And and with Vassell getting the red card, I mean, dude, I like a little fire, man. I mean, yeah, and I don't care about the fight in the middle. It's like I like the fire because it's like
yeah,
that just kind of shows like they're not standing down for anybody.
yeah. No one comes into our house and tries to bully us, right? Even though they were, uh, playing pretty aggressive, but you're not gonna get that past Terminator Kyle Vassell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But but yeah, speaking of that, mix up with Kyle, I can kind of understand why he got upset. Like it looked like the OC player kind of, you know, did a little something dirty on him that he didn't like, and I don't agree. I don't condone, fighting on the pitch or nothing like that. But I mean, I think sometimes when you're pumped and those things
yeah,
happens in NFL, happens in basketball, happens where it's gonna happen. But when you do that against our Terminator of a forward, like he's not gonna let that happen.
yeah.
And unfortunately, he got the red card. Oh, it sucks just because we need him, for the next couple matches. I think we can get away with it, but we do need him.
Is
But
it during the season? Is that one game suspension or two?
I'm hearing it's a couple. I'm hearing it's at least two.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
just because of he pretty much freaking Razor Ramon them onto the pitch, and then kind of there were some bows being thrown, and I'm not sure if Kyle got a cut or not, but when he got up, he like the the what's it called, the trainer or whatnot was cleaning like his forehead or something like that. I don't know if they were just watering him down, but hopefully he's okay. But yeah, but that's how the match was, man. The match was, it felt like a playoff game. I was there. I'm telling you, 109 was bumping. Probably one of the best times I've been in 109. In the beginning, it looked kind of sparse, with people, but just more people started showing up. The drum line was kicking. The drum line sounded like a freaking professional drum line. Like it sounded like something you hear out of like some kind of like college band or something like that. It was like everybody was kicking hardcore really well. Everyone chanting was really putting a lot of their lungs in it. The other sections were getting involved, like all like the like the huge general admission, or not general admission section, but the whole like the sections kind of about like the 50-yard
Yeah.
line. All pretty much the whole area was, and they were getting into it as well. I was seeing people trying to start the wave, which I thought was kind of which I thought was kind of interesting. And it wasn't working because that's not really something that I know it's a very American type of sports type of thing,
Yeah.
but people were there, people were trying to start it several times and it didn't really work so much. But I think it was because people were just so engaged in the match, they weren't looking, because you know how, like when you're at an NFL or baseball game, you're kind of looking around and you say, oh look, that section of foreign starting the wave and let's do it. I think with soccer, everyone's really just like looking at the ball, just going back and forth because there's no break time. It's not like the pitcher in baseball where like the pitchers, gets the ball back and it's taking like 15, 20 seconds to figure out what pitch is going to give. In soccer, you're engaged.
Yeah.
It's moving. The ball's moving. Everyone was looking at the ball. So there was like a section that was trying to start the wave and people were, there was a whole section or two that were trying to do it, but it wasn't working the farther, farther on. But my point is that that's how engaged the whole stadium was. It was an amazing atmosphere. It was like a playoff field atmosphere. There was opposing fans there. They were representing. They're walking around with their scarves up in the air, representing. They scored. They were excited. Even like the player that scored on them, I didn't get his name. Actually, we'll get his name right now because I don't like him anymore. What's his name?
Yeah.
Milan Eloski. So this guy scores and ends up like going to 109, like pretty much like pulling up his shirt, like, yeah, me, I did it. What's up, and starts pissing off 109, and so everyone at 109 is obviously like giving them heat, but a little bit disrespectful, scoring and then kind of just trying to shove it in our face. So a lot of people were not really too happy about that, but it had it all, man. The match had it
Yeah.
all.
It was definitely it's definitely one of a kind, and I don't want to say that Kyle Vassell was solely to blame for that fight because I mean Longmire could have just like backed out, but I mean he was fighting right back, so he got that red card just as well too.
Exactly.
So it's like yeah, so I mean it was just a very physical match, and like even when Guido scored and stuff, like the goalkeeper is very physical towards him when he was getting the goal.
Yeah.
So I think that's just what it is, man. It's a rivalry game, and we got to be able to expect those things whenever down to San Diego. Um, but to your point, man, like I was really impressed on the drum line, the organization that kind of happened, and I kind of want to speak to that, from the Chavos point of view, from our side. Um, we have a really great core group of drummers in the whole I mean in the SG in general, right? And then like in the 109 in general. But the it was kind of one of those things where it was like, okay, you know what? Now it's sounding a little too muffled on TV, and it just sounded like there was a bunch of drums going off beat. Got to give credit, to Davey, to Adrian, for being able to kind of like uh to kind of coordinate all that stuff and uh make sure that everybody's doing the job, doing the job properly and doing the job right, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, we have some amazing drummers, locals do as well. And I know there was some discussion from the last couple matches that maybe there's too many drums. Maybe the voices are getting drowned out. But I think what I did like about this match, because I was sitting right there at 109, is that the drum line. It was just I'm sure it was discussed. Well, it was discussed. Discussed. I'm not saying that it was. I'm sure. I know it was. That the discussion was discussed about that,
Hmm.
and
I gotta
and
mention
109.
I'm sorry, I gotta mention Eric as well because he was actually pretty key on that as well too, like all three of those guys and Abel as well.
Yeah, so the conversation was brought up and discussed, and the past couple of matches, that's been being noted, and this match against OC, there was a reminder for everyone who is chanting. There's a break, like the drum line would stop, making sure you're awake and that you're chanting, because they're checking you, they're chin checking you all, everyone who's not drumlining, right? They're
Yeah,
making sure you're singing,
yeah,
so they will stop and be like, let me hear you, in the sense, right? So everyone would just bring it and
yeah,
sing it louder,
yeah,
and it
and
was working.
it does work, man, and it helps that it helps that there's experienced drummers on both sides. There's the experienced drummers on the loyal on the yeah on the sorry on the locals and the experienced drummers on the Chavos, and for future for anybody that wants to start drumming. I mean, if you even want to start to learn how to drum, have like not a ranking system, but more of like it is a ranking system, but not a rank is like, oh, you're number one drummer or whatever. It's really more of like we're gonna rank you based on your skill set, and we're gonna try to develop you as a drummer, as a couple. So if you want to come in, you want to be a part of the SG, you want to be part of the leadership, or not even leadership, but leadership in the stadium. Um, that we're gonna either make sure that you know what's going on, or we're gonna train you to that point. and I mean, I think we're doing great in that aspect.
Yeah, and there's other things that have been, I'm gonna comment on this, but there's other things that happen when you're a new club, right? A supporters group that's only been around for 3 years or so. There's several supporters groups in 109, right? We're gonna have growing pains. There's gonna be people who had different opinions, just and it just happens to be that there has to be a discussion, communication to make sure that everything works together at the end. Because at the end of the day, our goal is to represent San Diego Loyal, San Diego, and be as one, right?
Mhm.
Because it's getting noted. This match, like if you rewatch the game, we were so loud. 109 was incredibly loud. You heard like all the words and everything, and and that's what you want to see, right? That's what you want to see in the future. We are strongly holding the third position now in the standings. We have 31 points. Colorado Springs lost their first place positioning. San Antonio has a 37 points in first place. We are up a couple points up from El Paso, who's on in fourth place. They have 29. We have 31. But the big surprise is Orange County is in 12th place out of 13 with 17 points. Phoenix Rising is in 11th place with 21 points out of 13 positionings.
Relevant,
Um,
irrelevant.
it's our moment. It's our moment, right? It's our moment. But we are building something here in San Diego. What's been going on with social media. And San Diego has been doing great things on social media with the whole siempre leal, jerseys, the third kits, just a lot of great things. It's just really going good right now. And I think we needed
In this
these couple wins.
Yeah. No, we really do these I mean, we need these wins for sure. And the fact that, we can still have that bragging right? It's just, um, I mean, yeah, we just need all the support we can get out there right now.
Yeah, we're playing really well right now. I hope it continues on Monday. It's going to be really tough for us the next couple of weeks because what we really have to worry about is our players being healthy.
Mhm.
Because we're gonna be playing on Monday. We're gonna be playing. The next couple of weeks is gonna be matches every other day.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be just really tough on the players. But as long as San Diego Lowell or Landon Donovan, um, manages that correctly, I think we'll do relatively well. But I mean, like we're past the season mark now, or the halfway season mark.
Yeah.
So it's really getting down to like let's go down the home stretch and do well. Um, but hey, you know what? I wanted to get into something about going back to the whole thing about tailgating and Snapdragon and whatnot. But I posted up an article on my page at Twitter about that. There's an article that came out about Snapdragon that's pretty much almost complete, but that there's gonna be tailgating there, and we talked
Yeah.
about it last episode. I think the difficulty, and that's why it was so great having the parking lot back, right?
Mhm.
But just we just think that having the tailgating option is going to just up the ante with our game day experience. And I
Yeah.
think it's going to bring more people to the matches. But now having it solidified that there is going to be tailgating, there's actually going to be a separate official tailgating area, which
Yeah.
is going to be just west, like kind of right in between, like the trolley station right there, leaves you right in front of the stadium and the stadium. So pretty much you can literally like get off the station, walk upwards, and there's a tailgating area or party or whatever you want to call it, and then just walk another 20 yards to get into the stadium.
Yeah.
And so it's official because all the surrounding infrastructure that's going to be getting built at Snapdragon, like the housing, the office, whatever, the hotel, they're going to build a hotel there. They're gonna build housing and outlets or whatever. That's supposedly gonna get officially complete like in 10 years. So it's not gonna get done now. So there's gonna be a lot of freaking parking there and tailgating. So I
Yeah,
just see, the whole tailgating culture, and with San Diego Loyal, San Diego Wave, even STSU, I think it's gonna blow up again, and I think it's gonna be a really good thing for the sports in San Diego with STSU Wave, and our first taste is gonna be with SD Wave, and that's how I want to go. But that same day, it's gonna be SD Loyal against Phoenix.
yeah,
So we're gonna have to see what happens.
yeah. And I mean, the one thing I wasn't really a fan of when the tailgated was that they had a fan zone, right? Um, it was fun to have a fan zone, right? If people were just kind of going to show up and they just kind of needed some place to hang out, have a good time, yeah, it's totally cool to have a fan zone. But I really enjoyed when I went out with my friends and we just had our own little tailgating section. Just freaking just threw up all this music. Sometimes mariachi would show up out of fucking nowhere. I don't know who brought it. I don't know where it came from. And then like the food trucks would show up every once in a while. Um, but the whole experience of a tailgate is that you get to create that culture with yourself. And you never know, man. There might be new SGs account, and it all start. It might start from a tailgate. It's
Yeah,
like you get used to parking in one little section, and you know for a fact that there's always these people that kind of hang out in the corner,
yeah,
and you're gonna just become friends, and then that's how groups get started. And we're gonna have our own thing. I mean, the local thing as well. We might start off in the same section, or maybe split off. In preference, but yeah, man, tailgating just it's gonna bring a whole new aspect to the not just the game day experience, but just the fan the fan on fan interaction, and it's gonna be huge, dude. I honestly think it's gonna be big.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really starting to look forward to it, and that's why it might be good, it might be bad, but we'll see what happens. If hopefully San Diego Loyal can get a home, if we continue the way we are, we can get a home match for the playoffs. It'll be the first time ever in our history having a home game in the playoffs since our existence, our short-lived existence, right, of 3 years or so. Um,
I
but
think I think
I really want to see that.
we'll have it at grandma's house still. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it's inevitable that it's gonna have to be a re-go there I'm sorry, to Snapdragon. But speaking of that,
Yeah.
last week we mentioned at the end of our episode last week about the World Cup, right? And
Yep.
about how do we, you asked me how did I feel about the stadiums that were picked out. So we know in the West Coast in California, we have Levi Stadium, over in Santa Clara where the 49ers play, right? And also SoFi, where the Rams, play with Dirty Dean's team,
Yeah.
right? So and there's talk that there's going to be matches being played, warm up matches, right,
Yeah.
being played at different stadiums that are not going to be in the World Cup. So, for example, there could potentially be a warm up game, that teams can play in the Rose Bowl,
Yep.
at the Coliseum or Snapdragon,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And but one of the things, the reason why I want to mention that is because we have 4 years until that's going to happen, um, pretty much to the date, because I believe it's going to be in 4 years in July, right? Typically, June, July, but Snapdragon could potentially get, even though it's a new stadium, but knowing that they want to have even a warm up game that could potentially be televised, that they can have canopies getting built in, additional seating, whatever, just because we want to attract, uh, in an international audience, right, at Snapdragon. So that's something I really want to look forward to, because I'm not really too fond of how this. I think, but it's going to be a new stadium. It's going to be modern. I don't think it's really architecturally looks modern to me, but it's it's gonna everything's gonna be new in what I'm trying to get at. But there could be potential of from what I'm hearing of expanding, a potential of possibly adding the canopy, add canopies to it. But if they really want, if San Diego really wants to make some moves, try to encourage a warm up game here. It could be Mexico,
Yeah.
it could be Mexico playing here, a warm up game. It could be Italy or USA or whoever playing that Snapdragon, because we're gonna be 36K is a pretty good size for a warm up game,
Yeah.
right? It's not gonna be an official FIFA World Cup game, but it's gonna be a warm up game. So what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I really think the idea of a canopy should be explored for San Diego State, and it wouldn't be just a soccer benefit. It would definitely be more of a San Diego State benefit. You don't really see a whole lot of college teams out there that have a canopied stadium, and it would the atmosphere in that stadium would definitely change with the canopy because of the noise would stay in. Um, I do like the idea of bringing teams out here for a warm up. Um, I I mean I just want to. I wish it was actually like World Cup stuff, right? Um, I think it's an opportunity missed, especially the border towns. Um, and also depends on the teams that come here to warm up. You don't want to have like. I mean, I don't know. I just. I mean, I'm trying to think of a couple teams that have zero relevance here in San Diego, like Hungary versus.
Yeah.
I don't know, like Saudi Arabia or something like that. It's
Yeah.
something like that, right? It would really wouldn't make a difference over here. But Mexico's not going to come and play out here. If Mexico has any warm up games, they're going to play in Guadalajara, Monterrey,
Right.
Azteca, and
Yeah.
U.S. is going to play at they're going to play in their Midwest states. Canada's going to play in Vancouver or
Hmm.
or even Toronto and stuff like that. But um, I don't know, man. It's just I would appreciate just having a few warm up games. It'd be definitely nice to be able to build that momentum. Um, and I mean, as far as San Diego getting the world stage, I don't think warm up games is going to get us in the world stage of soccer, man. We just got to keep having those viewership. I mean, we got to be the top viewership city in the entire United States. I mean, because that's the only reason why the MLS is still interested in us.
Yeah.
Like they would have given up on us. Like if we were any other city, they would have given up on us like a long time ago. But
Hmm.
the fact that our culture here in San Diego is so strong, they do not want to miss this opportunity, and we just need leaders to be able to get that for us. That's it. Give us what we want.
Yeah, exactly. You know, MLS is keeping an eye on us for a reason, right?
Mhm.
26, we will either already, if we don't, if San Diego doesn't get picked for an MLS team by 2025, we're probably not going to get one.
No, and I'm
You
happy.
know,
I mean, I'll be all right with it.
yeah, and I will be too. But I think right now there's obviously discussion about what's going on with in Sacramento's doing really well. That might that might get brought up. Who knows? But the person who was interested in doing that is over here now
Yeah,
with SD Wave.
yeah,
So I really kind of count that out because I don't see no one else that. Oh, I mean, I've not really been into what's been going on in Sacramento, but I haven't heard of anybody else being interested in bringing anything to Sacramento since, because they probably have some kind of rights. Whoever was there, Burkle, correct?
yeah,
Whoever was, maybe he has rights and now he's in San Diego, right?
yeah,
So if we're going to be getting looked at for an MLS team, it's going to probably happen in the next year or two, especially with MLS being keeping an eye on us still, and then our Snapdragon getting built, and then everyone's going to be eyeing Snapdragon and how the events around that are being played there are going to be turn out like SD Wave against Angel City. That big match is going to happen September 17th. We're gonna be at Torero, playing Phoenix. Um, but I think the hot ticket that night is gonna be at Snapdragon. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. I really want to go to that match, so I'm not sure where I'm gonna be.
I
So
really think it would be smart for San Diego Loyal to move that match.
it would. There you go. There you go. I wanted to see what you thought about that. But I think it would be smart they move that match.
Yeah,
Either the day before, the day after. Um, you probably should better start working on that now.
yeah,
But because I think the last game, because ST Waves only going to have two games there, the match against Angel City, and then the match against, I believe it's like Charlotte or something,
yeah.
Chicago or Charlotte, something like that. One of those teams, but it doesn't really seem too interesting, right?
No,
Because I don't even know what team they're playing against. It's one of those. It's like SD Wave versus like Charlotte or Chicago or something like that, or
one of
North
those.
Carolina, something like that.
One of those. One
Something
of
like it's a team that's it's not going to really bring that much attention.
yeah,
But that first match they're going to open is going to be SD Wave versus LA, SD versus LA. It's going to be a lot of excitement around that.
yeah, yeah. No,
But there's a lot of things going on in San Diego right now, a lot of things to talk about. But I think it's pretty exciting. And man, it's just let's see how we'll be discussing it. We'll see what happens. But yeah, man, I mean, things are going good right now. So
yeah,
let's just see what happens.
yeah. No, and it's going to be a very good weekend, July 4th. Um, it's gonna be a great summer. I think we should just kind of keep pushing forward for it. Let's hope the team keeps playing well. Let's hope the Wave keep playing well, and I want everybody in San Diego to succeed. That's just it. I don't want anybody to start competing with people. Um, and yeah, man, I'm just excited for the rest of summer, dude. We're halfway through the point right now, and I'm ready to go for the rest of the season.
Hell yeah. Can't wait for Monday. That's going to give me more pumped for Monday, just knowing that ST Low is going to play and then 4th of July.
Yeah.
Um, so before we finish off here, any news on watch parties for
Um.
Monday?
So actually, no, Monday, I'm not exactly sure if we're having a watch party, but I will be in San Diego during that time. So if watch party comes up, just keep an eye out on the Chavos and Loyal Instagram page and the San Diego Loyal Instagram page. I mean, I don't want to advertise whatever they're doing, but keep an eye out, and we'll be able to have a watch party. I mean, if everything goes great, or it could be one of those things where we're just gonna enjoy everybody. Everybody's gonna enjoy their family. We could just kind of have a virtual watch party or something. But yeah, just keep an eye out on the Instagram page for the Chavos and Loyal and Twitter, and we'll just keep you informed.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, there's a few things that people have been commenting on in regards to a watch party on Monday. Seems like it's going to be kind of scattered.
Yeah.
People kind of want to stay a little more local to where they're living. There's talks about something in North County at a place and something more central, like Los Reyes over kind of like Golden Hill.
Hmm.
Haven't heard nothing about South Bay as of yet, and ST Lowell hasn't commented anything about watch party either, from
Yeah.
what I've seen. So maybe something's going to come out tomorrow or Sunday. Probably there's a lot of things getting squared away right now in
Yeah.
regards to numbers or what's going to go on, because Padres are going to be playing on Monday at the same time. They're playing at 3:40 p.m. here in San Diego. A lot of people are going to either be at the game. They're going to have fireworks after that too. Everybody, so and that's going to be at the
It's gonna be a
time
lot.
that ST Loyal is playing in Colorado.
Yeah.
So the priority might not, but it's going to be on ESPN too.
Yeah.
The match. So it really depends where you're going to be. So we'll see. We'll keep everyone updated.
Yes, sir.
Well, yeah. Well, so besides that, yes, very exciting week. Have a great holiday weekend, everybody. Thank you for
Yeah.
listening, and until next time.
Yeah, have a very safe and happy 4th of July weekend. Make sure you follow us on Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, iTunes, Stitcher, Amazon, and I think I got them all. So yeah,
Yeah.
everybody, please be safe, enjoy your families, have all the cake, have all the fireworks safely, and don't bring pyro to the stadium anymore.
Yeah, and be nice to the zonies.
Exactly. Yes.
Actually, don't be nice to the zonies.
Yeah. They don't have a whole lot of stuff going on in their states, so just give them this weekend.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, thank you, Miguel. Thank you for another episode. Great night. Thank you for joining me on a Friday, and thank you for everybody who's been listening. And yeah, till next time.
Till next time, guys. Bye.
Peace out.